Welcome. So in this tutorial, we're going to continue straight where we left off. Let's talk about editing. So last video, we spoke about managing and importing our videos into Olive. This video will be about the most important thing with editing, the cut, how to make a cut and how to splice things up. So let's choose one of our videos. And by the way, we can choose a video, of course, by its name. I can right click properties and I can rename it. I can choose a different name for it. I'm going to cancel that. Okay, but let's select the video first. Okay, I might not be like super familiar with the names since these clips are coming straight from a camera. So I can choose one of those three different modes. 1, 2, and 3. So in this one, we get like a preview, a name, a file name, and so on. But I like this one because it's the main thing in focus is just the video. And I can zoom in and see all my videos this way. So let's say that I want to start maybe with this video. So let me take it and drag it. In last video, we mentioned why just dragging it to the timeline is better than creating a sequence on our own, because that way the sequence will always work with your video. There we go. And now I'll move my playhead. In the first video, we saw what the playhead is. It's this red line over here. I can move it up and down. So this bar right here at the bottom, I can take one of the ends of the bars and squeeze it so it zooms in. And I'm doing that by clicking, by holding and dragging, and that way we can zoom in. Now we're way more up close, and let's make a cut. Let's click on play, and we can play the video on the timeline by clicking here. That's the video. Let me lower my own volume. So that's the video. Let's make a cut. So to make a cut, we have a couple of panels over here. Right now, we are on the pointer tool. Let's switch off of the pointer tool to the most important tool for editing, the razor tool. Now that we selected the razor tool, our mouse has changed. It looks like a razor. If we go back to the mouse, it just looks like a mouse and the razor. So let's choose a point in which we want to cut. Let's scrub through the video to the beginning. Click play. So let's say that I just want to cut the video before his hand begins, his fingers move on the fret of the bass guitar. Oh, so they just begun moving right there. See, and this part is beginning to do some fancy stuff with his bass guitar. I think that's a bass guitar. So let's choose this point. So in this point onward, he's using. So I want to cut so this clip does not show from this point onward. Okay, so I'll go ahead and select the razor tool, mouse over someplace, and click, and click, and clicking while we are using the razor will cut. So let me undo, because I don't want to actually cut down here. I want to cut on the playhead. So let me just mouse over the playhead and the playhead will go white, click on it, and there we go. And if I wanna do something else, I can still scrub through the video, not by clicking on this part over here, but by clicking way up above on the timeline where the numbers are showing. I can still scrub. But if I click over here, it will do nothing because we're on the eraser tool and the eraser only makes cuts. Let me go back to the pointer tool. And with the pointer tool, we can scrub and select clips. Those options were not available with the razor since the razor only cuts. Okay, so now let's go back to the pointer tool and let's select this clip that we want to get rid of, and on the keyboard just hit delete. So now let's add the next video. So something that we could do, we could maybe look at this video. Oh, let me drag it down here. We can scroll with this over here. Oh, I don't like the video. We could just select it and remove it and go one by one until we find the clip that we want. But that is really a really bad practice, since just dragging each clip just to preview it before we see if we can commit and actually add it to the main video, you might have like a really robust timeline, and just adding stuff through it, to it might be not what you're looking for. So how can you preview your videos before you actually drag them into the timeline? With the media viewer. So just click on a video, and that way you can view a video before dragging it into the timeline. So let's say that first I want an establishing shot. I want an establishing shot first, and then I want this shot. No, I think this shot will work best. Yeah, I like this one. Ooh, did you notice that? So the camera is going back and forth. I could drag the whole thing, look up the motion I want. Let's say that I want this motion. Make a cut at the beginning of the motion, and here make a cut at the end of the motion. Go back to the pointer tool, select the part I don't like at the beginning, and then select the part I don't like at the end. And that way we can just import the part that we like, which is the sweeping motion with the guitar just going to the screen. We can do that. However, you just saw that we had to import it and then select something at the beginning, at the end, chop it up, and now we have a bunch of space and we need to just drag it. It's a whole mess. What I just did, don't do it. Let me show you a better way. So once you find the clip that you want on the preview screen, on the media preview, let's say, oh, I like that movement. I like that movement. Starting from there. Oh, but right there, it just begun, the camera begun sweeping back. I don't like that. I can actually cut the clip up here before dragging it down to the timeline. How can we do that? Just on your keyboard, you will use the I and O. I stands for in point and O stands for out point. So choose an endpoint, meaning where do you want the clip to start, and press I for endpoint. And you can see that now it's selecting everything starting from the endpoint, and then play it. Oh, and I want the clip to end right there. So hit O, and again, O stands for out point, and it just narrowed our selection. So now we are only selecting between our in and out points. Now I can click on the preview and drag it and as you see, if you scrub through it, it only is dragging, it's only giving us the parts that we selected with our in and out points, since it's not showing when the camera then swoops back around to make another shot, another attempt. Okay, so use the media preview, use the project panel to view all your clips. Once you have a clip that you want to import, watch it and use the in and out points to select a portion from the whole and then drag it. Perfect. So now, of course, you will notice that there's, once you drag a section, there will be a gap right here. Normally, you can just select everything and move it. But in the future, this might happen to you, okay? This might happen in the future. Let's say that you have a really big project like this one, which has a ton of clips, like this, and you're really zoomed in right here, like super zoomed in, and you just want to move the video over here, so you want to move this one. But now a problem is being created. So I just moved everything to the front, but now I have a hole over here. So I can like select everything and move it, and I have to go one by one, or I have to zoom out, select everything and move everything back, and then zoomed back in where we left off. That's a whole lot of steps that you have to take just to move stuff around. What can you do instead? Instead of just selecting everything and moving them one by one, or just zooming out and selecting everything and moving it as a whole, you can just erase this black space like this. Right click, ripple, delete, empty space. Let me zoom out so you'll see what a ripple delete does. A ripple delete takes everything and drags it around. Let's say that we have like an empty space here. If I ripple delete over here, it just moves it around without altering the order. And there we go. So on today's lesson, we learned how to use the eraser tool to cut a clip. Of course, once you select the tool, you can choose which items go first and which one goes last. We learned how to change the preview icons so you can see them easier. We also learned how to use the media viewer to preview your clips before placing them in the timeline. We also learned how to use in and out points to select which part of the clip we want to use and which part of the clip we want to ignore. And we also learned how to ripple delete, meaning how to delete the empty space. So yeah, expect more tutorials in the future, and happy editing.